Hello and welcome back. Oh my god, the chat started up first try. Hello? Connected all things.
Drastic CANT. What code is this?
Music. Oh. Okay, so what the heck's am I doing today? The code. Code. Oh. There you are. Okay, there's a few problems with it, which I didn't notice because I don't notice until it happens, which is really random when it does, but a few of those shaders actually have game-breaking problems with them. Oh yeah, I also put in the new models. And one of them is missing a texture. That texture right there in particular is missing somehow. Not quite sure how that works. That one single texture is missing. There it is. Iron plate reflect 11. So it's just using that thing, which messes up this thing. Puts that big old image in there the second time. Anyway, so they all look really good, generally. That box looks off somehow. I don't know how though. It just doesn't look quite right when you're rotating around it close up. What are you meowing about, kitty cat?
Mono. Everybody get up, it's time to slam now, let's get the real jam going now. Welcome to the Space Jam, grab your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam.
Oh yeah. Cat's just clawed all the way up to the top of the scratching post. Oh. Go up a little higher. You're not gonna be able to get down, kitty cat. Fat. Scratching post right next to you.
Mono. I ditched my desk.
Oh no. So you're just sitting on the floor now? Anyway, so that's how that looks. I gotta have the gear like this. The gear's not gonna look any good if it's not at that angle, I don't think. I love the reflections on the inside, how they work. Because the normal map's always the same. The plate looks off as well, and the rod looks weird. It's just because of that angle. Once I put it on a conveyor belt, I think it's going to be fine, because the conveyor belt's down at an angle. But it looks worse from a distance, I suppose? Actually, it just looks worse close up. It doesn't look as bad from a distance. Love it how they look like 3D models are over there. Like, if you don't pay too much attention to them. Like, if you just saw that out of the corner of your eye, it would look like there's actual 3D models. Love it. They all line up perfectly, there's no like incorrect Z-depth stuff, lighting's working, everything's working. I changed the way the maps work, so like the gear, this thing, and I think one other thing.
Mono. I ditched my desk, not my chair, or do you think I sit on my desk with my closet?
So you're just sitting on a chair with no desk? It's even worse. I'm just imagining that you're just sitting on a chair and there's no table in front of you where there was once a table. So all the stuff on the table is now just on the ground. And you just sit there with the chair, you know, facing a wall.
It is.
Okay. fail to see how this is a benefit, unless it was a really big, chunky, bulky, useless table. I just used one of those, like, well, actually, the table I'm using right now I found on the side of the street, so... But the other one I used to use was, well, I still do use, it's just still in my other room, I haven't cleaned it up yet. It's just like a really cheap fold-up picnic table thingy. It's this big plastic thing, it's pretty large, and the legs just fold up in it. The only problem is it has like supporty things to stop the legs from folding back up again when you got it on the on the ground. And yeah, they just go up at an angle and it whacks my knees. Like it's right in the way of my knees to go under the table, and you got to sit right in the middle of it to be able to have your knees under it. And I sit to one side of the table or the other depending on what screen I'm mostly using. Although I sit more to the wrong side currently. I don't know.
Mono. It had holes in it that were fixed with that stuff you put in your wall to remove holes.
Oh yeah, the table I got now, I got like sticky tape on around the edges of it because it's like this cheap plywood and it's all like buffed up around the edges. So you just got like these little tiny needly splinters of wood stabbing you on the wrists if it doesn't have sticky tape there. And the rest of it's just lined with holes and stuff. I don't know what this table was used for before. A few places where it looks like somebody had been like drilling things and they just sort of drilled through it a bit. It's like all curved down in the center. Even worse over the years. It's got like supporting stuff underneath to stop them doing that.
Pad is DIY.
I got one of those gameplay mat things. Mat. A card mat? Yeah, one of these things. Play mats. I literally have this one, I think. No, not that one. Well, one like that with this blue. I just spilled a whole lot of lemon juice on it yesterday, though, which is very annoying, and I'm not sure how to clean it. But yeah, it's just like a big mouse mat, but like your keyboard would be, you know, like that sort of a size. So you got all this room here for your mouse, and then like stuff at the top for whatever else. But yeah, really big mouse mat. And it's like the price of a mouse mat. In a way, I'm not sure how much a mouse mat costs. Yeah, it basically covers a large section of your table. You get even bigger ones. It's tiny, $3. Yeah, so mostly for like the place I found it was where I played board game stuff, and they just have all of the tables are just covered in one of these mats.
My mouse pad is made out of a piece of rubber with a piece of t-shirt nailed onto it.
Okay. I just use the table. No, you know, it's not like you need a mouse mat. Yeah, it just helps when if you get like a piece of hair or something under the laser, it doesn't trip out as much, and stops the low friction pads on the bottom of the mouse being scuffed up as quickly. But yeah, usually by then you gotta replace your mouse anyway, so it's whatever. But yeah, these things are pretty great. Anyway, so I gotta figure out how I can find the errors in my code. What if I... Whatever the heck you are... I'm assuming this should work? No, it did not. Okay, well I guess I just gotta change something and see if it comes up with the error. I mean, I know the error is there in the rendering, I guess I could just go for it, but I just don't know what the damn error is, or how to find it more, so... Very annoying. It could be the debug thing, but the debug thing's not supposed to be running. It can't be anything that is running, it's rendering. Render doesn't actually render, it does the ray tracing. The ray tracing isn't doing a thing. It's complaining about loops, but there is no loop here that can not run and have everything else still work. Unless it's just a compiling thing. I suppose I could try just replacing debug info and see if that fixes it. I'll know if it's fixed by it not appearing. Oh, also this stuff is... Oh, this would be... But then that would be... I don't know. Yeah, anything would be running this? Any loop is important. There is no code here that isn't required. So I don't really know. Whatever, let's just dump that in, save it off, see if it fixed anything. It's a change, so it will know. It'll recompile and come up with the error again. What am I looking for? I don't even know. This.
Mono, imagine getting an email from a hentai game company saying, "Hey, you smoke, don't be a stranger."
What? Hey, you what? Okay. I thought it said smoke. I don't get it. That just sounds like spam to me. Where the heck is my files? Servo. There you are. Move you onto the right screen. Damn it, I'm tired. It's been too long since I've done stuff, and I'm all out of it. Damn friends wanting to like play games, and then I had the board game thing, and then it's like new season of Umbrella Academy came out. My friend's like, "Hey, let's watch all of the episodes." I'm like, "Wait, what?" 12 hours of stuff we had to watch. Like, damn it. Okay, well I didn't get an error, but that doesn't mean I don't have an error.
Mono, Nutaku is a company where I actually check the mail because it's funny.
Okay. What if I do this? No, let's not have the console open. And then it will just be like, whoop, everything's loaded. Oh, that's a lot of things to load except for that one thing. And the done thingy went away. Did it go away or do I just, oh no, it's just grey. Okay. Well that's still a problem. Try it on a different browser?
Mono, and they randomly give out free paid currency.
Okay. Hey, there we go. Atlas has the problem. Interesting. What? That's a new one. Integer divides may be much slower. Try using units if possible. Oh, uniform ints. Do you give me a line perhaps? No. Some range thing. What do you want again? Atlas. Don't suppose there's something on 1, 2, 3? I mean, I'm quite happy with it being slower, so that's very annoying. It just breaks everything. Maybe I could try Google.
Mono, an old code of them for free gold was Y for Lifu.
Okay. Is this new? When was this? 5 years ago. No, it was not new. Okay, so it's just a warning. Well, it's nice to know that that's an information thing at the very least. It's weird. You just see the white parts instead of the black parts in my icon. Thought I had transparency. Maybe the black part's transparent, I don't know. Yeah, so that's not an error. Okay. I mean, I suppose if I just went through and converted all my ints to uints, then it would work better, but I think the point of a uint is you can't have negative numbers, which may be a thing that I'm using. Or I could just get rid of all of these damn errors. I'm just gonna copy that over somewhere. Alright, refresh. Let's see what it comes up with next time. Refresh. Nothing. God, that's annoying. Okay. Well, next problem is... Well, damn, I should probably check that first. I don't know where... Can I just, like, quit and open that on a new tab, perhaps? No. Okay, what if I change something which I have and then save? I'm assuming that was an atlas that it said that. I have a block here and it's very damn annoying. Fresh. That worked. Okay. So that happened in the validating of the program. Why? How? What? That's because... for the reason I think I know what it is. That one? Because I'm just checking if it has an error. Where this one's checking if it linked correctly or something. Which is a whole problem with this. What happens if it links wrong? Does it just loop around forever? Okay, I should try break something. Well, what do you do? I feel like I tried this before and it actually worked fine. Oh, okay, so that happens there. So that's a different... Okay. So I just ignore this? Or I can have this, but don't make it break everything. Well, it's gonna tell me this time. It's only telling me one error there. I'm wondering if there's multiple errors, but it's just showing me whatever the last one was. Or warnings. They didn't tell me a damn thing. Okay. Oh, this is also stopping that from happening. Oh, because it would have linked. And then we check to see if there was an error. Why didn't it give me an error? Is this not updating the same way anymore? I have to add something to it. That's why. Okay. The question is, does everything give me one of these errors? I'm assuming it would, why wouldn't it? Seems like only one file got uploaded then, but whatever. Huh. That one's supposed to take a long, long time. Taking a very long time. Maybe this did come up with an actual problem? Oh, no, there it goes. Okay, so that's not actually breaking anything. It's just all warnings. But... so has this been what my quantum problem has been all the whole time? Because it doesn't do that the second time, but it also doesn't... but if it... I don't know. So the Atlas was done perfectly fine. Render caused problems. Wait. Doesn't the Atlas have the... oh, okay, no. Oh, so it's giving me multiple errors here. Each one of these is an error. Oh, okay. It is giving me different numbers around the place. Terrible song. Okie dokie. I suppose I should look through those things. Let me just double check what a uint is. Looks like I'm using this browser now. Yeah. So as long as I'm not using negative numbers, but what if I wanted to use negative numbers? I mean, I don't really have an option, unless I just use floats. Okay, let's dig around. So what's that on? That is on render. That is render. So I want to use the uint. Suppose I should just search for every place I've used an int. Is it just dividing? Intage divides might be slow. Yeah. Let's just look for divides then, I guess. Those are all floats. Should be all floats. Should be all floats. That's the divide. Well, that actually would be a uint. You can't have negative indexes. Oh, wait. Yes, no, maybe? You can have a negative index. But is that ever going to be a thing? It is possible to have a negative index. Is me saying uint here going to work in an IVEC? I believe this should be converting automatically. Yeah, I don't think that should have negatives. Ugh, it'd be really nice if I knew what language this was. As far as I know, it's just GLSL. I'd really like to have this color coded correctly. I looked into this before, it was weird. Is this the same site? No. I hate, it's like... Yeah, it just seems like a really big hassle to get that stuff working. Okay. I'm just gonna assume everything's fine. So it's... Right. That should work fine. Oh, I hate it. Oh wait, that does not work fine. Oh, that's minus... Oh, okay, yeah. Possibility it might not work fine, but I'm just gonna assume it is. So I really should just be looking for any hints. That's what I was doing first. Probably should be divides. It's just I'm just looking at the comments then. I don't know, I could be doing terrible things right now. That's just a 1 or a 0. As long as I'm not converting ints around the place like I am exactly right there. Oh god. I don't like it how it doesn't change color. Oh my ear. No? Hey, meowing at me, kitty. What's the matter? I haven't been meowing for a long time. It's the plate scratching first. Problem. Okay. Notepad 3. I don't want to get into making it myself. I don't know how to add things to it. I should make a duplicate of what I'm currently using. But how do I... It's a lot of effort to go into, damn it. There must be somebody else who's already done this. They're just... How could there not be? In a way that isn't just that unbelievable hassle. Doing that, doing all that other junk. What am I looking for? Care about the autocomplete. Where's the damn download button? Again? Oh, yeah. Now, I'm just gonna shit around the place. Maybe the bathroom door's closed or something. We're back.
In most people's everyday life, the computer isn't much more than a very fast adding machine. It tends to send you bills. But it is very much more than that. The modern world could not function without computers because they operate everything from production lines to telephone exchanges to traffic systems to international finance. But the main reason why computers matter to you and me in our future is because they have perfect memories. They never forget anything they're told about you and me. Kind of data say you have to give somebody if you want a bank account or credit, or to be able to vote or buy a house, or if you've been accused of a crime. And that's why computers contain the future within them. If you tell a computer everything about a group of people, it'll juggle the mix and come up with the one factor that is most likely to affect the decision that group will make about something one way or the other. Knowing that is knowing the future. And that is power.
And back. Anybody say anything? Anybody here? Nope. Just leading me around circles there. Okay. I assume I just import. Okay, I was expecting a little bit more than that. Okay. Wait. Did I create? Which one did I just import? Was that GLS? Oh. No, that's the one I just did then, so... What did I import? Like, is that importing it into the list of stuff, or is it importing into this thing? Like... It still seems to be empty. Kitty cat. Let's try load the other one. There's two things there, don't know what one to load. I'm assuming I just dumped it into here. Oh god. Well, there ain't even a G for GLS cell. Yeah, I have no damn clue what I'm doing right now. Obviously, it's not that. Maybe I do this one? No G, no OpenGL. Would be for that thing. I have no damn clue. I would assume I just do this, I import the thing and then magic happens, but that ain't happening apparently. This should not be complicated, yet here I am. Failed to import, okay, that's different. Do I have to be like on the right tab or something? Import successful, but where did it import? What did it do with this import? Do I just save? How did I do that other one? So I got an auto hotkey one. Oh my god. Just want a word to be colored. Go through it all again. Some of them said some things about how in the world you go about doing this. To install themes, go to language, define your theme in the user-defined language. Dialog, select import, load files into Notepad++. And the user-defined language. What does that mean? Define your language, yes. In the user-defined language. Oh. What? That? Did that save? Okay. Why is that one highlighted but not that one? Because you want weird stuff. Well, hey, that's something. Do I just select that? Okay, that one's highlighting better. But it looks like trash. It's not for a dark thing. Okay, does this... I mean, it must have something to do with colors here. Okay. So I want this, but not with those colors. What? How do I select what I want to change? Why are you coming over meowing at me, kitty? And then immediately jumping up exactly where I don't want you to be because I can't see my damn screen. There ain't no food in there, kitty. You're just licking a piece of plastic right now. I know that means you're hungry, that's why I put you next to your food, which you then didn't eat. Take away that plastic, there you go. So it doesn't seem to be anything in here for the languages are just loaded in. So how would I be able to change the color of the thing which I loaded in? No, it's not the global. Is it? Is this for the language in particular that I just chose? No. Purpose to join. Free to ask questions if you don't know what's going on. Just trying to figure out how to get correct syntax highlighting on this damn thing. I can get it there, and it looks nice, except why is it white? How do I fix that? Change stuff at random till something maybe changes color. And it's not this color, it's the only light color around. No. Damn it. What is the magic word I'm looking for? I assume this must just be using some other thing's junk. Well, even then, I could change the language and everything works fine, right? So why is it white? Some sort of a background color is wrong. A guy somewhere mentioned something about it. Global foreground color. Oh. Okay, okay. That did a thing. Now how do I change the rest of the colors? I feel like I might have changed that slightly. Okay. How do I change text color? Again, this didn't seem to have anything fancy. Unless this. Oh. Oh. I don't know what color I had before. I'm pretty sure I didn't have just straight up white. Okay, okay. Getting there now. Huh, maybe it was just straight up white. Probably just that or something. Okay. I don't like that purple. I'm assuming to be one of these. It's too dark. Okay, what color was that before? Off light blue. Be any of them. Let's go with that one. Then we have green for wherever the return is, and the yellowy orangey thingy for numbers. It's a bit lighter than that. Whatever. Where would return be? Return's not in that stuff. Oh, it is in that stuff. Okay, well... Oh god. Well, I have the words there, so it's just a matter of figuring out which ones I want. Prefix. Oh, okay. I'm assuming that just makes the color, the thingy next to it change color. Yeah. Very meowy today. Okay. I've just said a word in days. Not expecting to spend my day doing this. Why make it that grey that it was like a transparency grey? Dark grey. Oh, I guess that works. Can I somehow get this, but with the other ones? That'd be very nice. How do I get your color? Why is there so much of the same green? I don't like it. It's subtly different to what I'm used to. Why are so many of these colors the same? What is this? What? I don't want to have to be doing this. I mean, I can color pick it, I guess. Set the language to this thing, and then just color pick. Color pick? Come on. How do I color pick? Bruh. Gotta make me do it the damn hard way. Damn it! Okay. We have something here for text. What are you thinking? Change it to be darker, or do I want to change it to be a little more? That'll look good. Uh-huh. Paler blue. Oh, it's an annoying color. It's got like a slight amount of green in it. Good enough. What's this? Bold as well? That's why it looks so off. That one... I don't think any of these are bold at all. Normally. Okay, how does that look? Any other things around here? That's pretty much the only three colors I was using. And then just that dark grey for comments. Yeah, one will do, I suppose. I assume when I quit that, it will apply. Oh, when I was doing the thing, it was apply. Oh, what's that? Why are your brackets all coloured? No, thank you. If you're gonna be anything, it'd be like a grey sort of thing. But no, how about no? I feel like I sort of want it coloured now though. And that's just a sort of barely noticeable coloured, but it does define things out a little bit more. Too annoyed about that. That orange is terrible. Get rid of that. At the very least, you need to be darker. Brown. I do like it how it's like that. It's math. What color would math be? Gray, I guess. Said it's the same gray as the brackets. It's not that bad. That's a little too green. Okay, where's that blue at? I suppose blue isn't too bad. Why is that bold and grey? Oh, that... Is index in here? No. I know was that one. Where's that purple coming from? Oh, fall through. Nope. Sick. Nope. What? I mean, it has to be that one, right? But that's like not the right color at all. I'm so damn confused. There's no other groups, there's some more stuff hidden somewhere. Another poster, join, feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. I was trying to get the styling looking better at this language, because by default it didn't have one. So, something I really wanted to avoid, but I've had to do something which I would have put a uint. And I was using C++, which doesn't have uint, so it went away. I didn't like it. I'm trying to find where this thing is. I suppose it'll just be whatever's bold. Just untick all of those. And also that one, because I made that one. What? But that's all there is. Oh, that went away. That's nice. Why are you grey? So you must be this one? Yep. Okay. What color should that be? Should it be a different color? I mean, if anything, it should be the same color as that. It's slightly off and it annoys me. How did I get that color? It would have just been color picked, right? That's why I didn't want to get into this damn thing. You, what color are you? There we go. Okay. Doesn't look as bad. Really wish I could find that purple one. But there ain't a purple color. Not on that one. Oh! It's just because of that. But why does it all change color? Just that. I mean, nothing. I, 'cause, 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 ' Is it big? Oh. Oh, it's because that's here. No? But that is what... I am. How did I miss that? Whatever. What the heck are you? So you're just data typey things. Well, let's just disable that. And set you the same color as that other one. Which I don't like, because index, sure, might be a... Index might be a fancy word, but not in my books. What the heck is the word index? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, because it scrolls. Oh god. Did I just disable this whole group? None of these words are words I use. Disable. Ugh, let me lean in. I'll post a drawing for free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. How much is that scrolling every time I do it? Okay. Oh, that's it. Index, there you are. Get. Job done. Okay, that looks all a bit more respectable, I get. Oh, what the world is this blue? Heck on out of here, blue. Should both be fine. Okay. Well, that's what that was. Nope. Are you just that? Yeah, you're just that. Oh, okay. Ray's mildly annoying. But I could live with that, I suppose. It just takes time to get used to. It's not... Oh, it's slightly darker? Everything's just slightly damn off, whatever. Ugh, I don't want to spend days on that damn thing. Just want to get rid of those warnings. Move on. So everything's Ewins now. Whatever applicable. None of that should have negatives. Can that have negative? I think that's just a one or the other sort of a thing. What does this come out as? This has ints. What does it do with this? Well, it's just an inside thing, so no, this shouldn't have negatives. Should be able to dump that. I mean, we're only really caring about dividing things as well. So really I shouldn't bother about changing all of this stuff, only things that are ints that get divided. That's all I should be doing here. Okay, I can see that being the thing you complain about. Does that just magically work? I don't see why not. Okay. I feel like I have done terrible things today. What about an IBEC? Can I have a UI back? How does that work? I don't know. That's a whole different problem. Oh god, this thing's everywhere. Oh, those are floats, those are fine. It's all floats. I don't know, let's see what I broke. I must have broken something. I just want to see what errors I get. Am I muted still? Oh, okay. Error. Because I'm setting ints instead of uints. Oh god, yeah. So I have just done terrible, terrible things. Really damn nice if it could just tell me where exactly the problem was. What one is that? Image array. You ain't uints. You ain't. You ain't. I mean, I could change that because it is dividing ints together, which is exactly what it doesn't want to do. But I feel like converting those is just as difficult as whatever the heck it's trying to do when it's warning me about it going slower. And if I have to put uints through this, well, I'm going to have to be converting it every damn time. I mean, I am guessing I'm converting it to an int every time. I could just keep it as floats, but I really do not want rounding error inaccuracies getting into this thing. You got extra numbers, you should just completely forget about them. I don't really know how they would ever be a problem anyway, though. It just feels wrong converting it to a uint just so I could divide them together, though. Yeah, I've made a lot of problems. Can I just undo a whole heap without it changing colors? Okay, so that should be where I started. So at the very least, we know the this thing is doing an int thing. I mean, I guess I could just look through all of that. But yeah, so anything that uses index is now going to be a uint. Anything that uses this has to also be a... That's just so much of a hassle, though. I'm never going to be able to remember that. I'm going to be causing problems constantly. I don't care if it goes that much slower. If it ain't noticeable, it ain't noticeable. But I really don't want this error clogging things up. I could just ignore it, I suppose, but I don't know what other errors might... Well, I guess it is telling me all of the damn errors, isn't it? Where'd you go? What? So divides might be slower, modulus might be much slower. Much slower, okay. Loops don't seem to do anything. I don't understand what that's about, because there ain't no loop that doesn't seem to do anything. I mean, you may not see anything, but it is definitely doing stuff. It's a lot faster without it, though. Those loops not looping correctly could be what was causing those quantum errors a year ago. Oh god, it's literally a year ago. What am I? Executions for 0 iterations. Really be nice if it just told me the damn lines all this stuff was going on. I mean, it is telling me different information. That doesn't seem to line up with anything. What is this? Render. I am in render, right? Okay. I don't know, I can have a look at the numbers again. 329 doesn't seem to do anything. There's 329 within the loop. Yes. Again. That is one that I cannot do without. That entirely depends on an unknown amount of things. Loops just... Well, I guess that sort of defeats the whole purpose. It doesn't matter how well I do it if I can literally not have... I have to have this happening. It could be 5 times it's looping, it could be 5,000 times, I don't know, and I'm not going to be copying it out 5,000 times, just in case. And the one time it goes one time over, I'm not going to worry about. Well, okay then, if I'm not doing any of that junk, well, I could just forget about the whole lot I've just been doing for the last hour and a half. And I just switch all this back to what I'm used to. Job done. And then I get rid of the thingy that's complaining about stuff. If you have no talk, you cannot talk. Where are you again? Should have just been right at it. What? It's all warnings, it's not errors. Heck on out of here, and away we go. No more of that, thank you very much. Although possibly person who's just joined or maybe left? Linking the program. I should put a timer on that or something. I don't know. It just takes so damn long to do that one. Whatever. Everything else seems to be working. Priorities are prioritizing. Let's just see if I don't move, does it still have an error with that one image? I mean, was it a bad upload? Did I upload before it finished baking? I don't understand how one of them is missing. Yeah, weird. Whatever. Well, now that I'm ignoring problems that aren't actually problems, what the heck am I doing? Back to square one. I'm getting extremely annoyed about my ear being blocked. What a block. Okay, so what if I need to be doing the inventory management thingy, binders, whatever junk. Making a make for stuff, that's another thing I wanted to do. Maybe I should make a make. Does this already have a make? I think I already did this, didn't I? I'm gonna worry about Atlas things. Atlas things is the thing to worry about. Make. You don't have a... Oh, you do have a location offset. A location. Technically you also have a rotation, but only if I really care about it. Yeah, that should work. Okay. So if that's the case, then when I make a combiner and the combiner does the tick update, the tick update spits out a thing. The thing that it's going to spit out is not going to be whatever... I mean, it is going to be this, but I don't have to define this within a tick update. No, I do. I don't. I do. I do. Damn it. You need to do movement stuff, unless I define the movement stuff by default. And then I don't have to do that. Also, if I put the name into here, then I don't have to do that. And this all could just be one standardized tick update. Okay. So, what am I doing? Well, I need to know what this is. This is an iron tube, apparently. I want to convert that to a rod, but whatever. So I can see what that looks like at the angle. So you need to know what you are. JB dot item? Sure. Equals iron rod. Then that could be what goes in here. So just be OBJ. Bonk, bonk. Except that's not how that works, I'll need the full name for that to work. Paste. One's already there. Is that twice? No, mechanical component. Iron rod. So that would go there. And technically these would all have the same thing. I guess they'll pretty much become the same thing and they just make a loop to make all of these things. Okay. So that does that does this, this is what it all is, and job done. Next problem is... well, nothing. That actually should just spit out rods now. It shouldn't have any errors. Oh, looks so much nicer. Yeah, that angle's definitely better. I mean, it doesn't look as good when you're further away, but when you're up close, it looks great. Good, okay-ish. So maybe I'll have to go with that angle for everything. It's just pretty far away, it looks off. Oh, whatever. Okay, great. Should I tilt it more, tilt it less? I mean, if anything, I feel like I should tilt it a little less. That means less to the gear, less details to show that it's obviously a gear. I don't know, I feel like the gear is not as obvious as everything else. Oh, whatever. Okay. Next up. I mean, technically if I did that, and all of this tick update stuff is the same, then all I really need to do is give it this name. And the whatever unique index name, which isn't really required, it could literally just be called item. And all of the rest of this stuff is just whatever it is. Oh, I have to define this stuff though. Okay, generic tick update, so the changes in this are that it needs a location, it needs a tile. The default ones aren't moving, they don't have any of that stuff. So I just need some sort of condition if that ever happened to happen and doesn't crash the game. Yeah. So that should just be as simple as an if that. Okay. And then this whole thing can go away, and you are what this stuff would be. And rather than that being that, just put that up on its own. Oh, that wasn't the top of the things. Okay. That equals this. And this should be exactly the same as that. Wait. Oh, it's missing the apps. So now that should be exactly the same. I just haven't barred the name. Alright. So yeah. And all of this can just be that. Okay. Then job done. So now if I want to switch out what this is, I just replace that one word. Switch it to a plate. Oh, let's actually switch to the gear. Everything still seems to be working. Can't help but notice nothing's coming out here. Oh yes, because it doesn't have a thing. You are no longer this. You are the make of whatever you want to make. I also can't help but notice this has rendering by default. Huh. Okay. Whatever. So you are within the viewport scene rendered things. Just toggled off. So I should be able to just grab you. And this would be... that is equal to... let's just say it's equal to this. And then that is equal to that dot make of that. So that will make a duplicate of this and assign it to be there. Should be doing the same thing as that. I don't have a location applied. We could change its unique index. How exactly do you name yourself with a make? You don't, okay. So I'm gonna have to give it an ID. EJD.90. Is this? And location is that. Okay, other than that, everything else should be exactly the same. Boop, 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 boop. And that should just work. No. No items put out. No item got created. Okay, that could be because it doesn't have no? That's what that's doing. So it should have an inventory by default. Well, after being created. And because it has an inventory, it should do everything it needs to be doing. Okay, do you not wait. That hasn't been defined yet. Oh, that hasn't been defined at all. Oh, okay. Well, you are this. So I want to make a make of the iron gear. That should be the iron gear. That's a duplicate of the iron gear. You have a unique ID. Your location is where you want to be. Item is what it is. Size is size. You get put in the thing. Stored in that. Blah blah blah. Did it crash? Oh, it crashed. Every JB not defined. How are you being referenced before you were defined? 792. What? Oh. What the? How did that happen? Okay. Okay. Yeah, it tried. Progress is progressing. Hey! Oh, that looks so much better. It just really depends on your distance away from it. Should I have it tilted one more? I mean, it doesn't ever look quite right. I could have a thing that render out more images for that, but it's already got a very large amount of images. So it's be fine. Unless I just had it always in an unbiased sideways view. It's fine back there. And then it's tilting up too far. It rotates as it goes past. Pretty. Okay. Did another thing. So that makes that a whole heck of a lot easier, because now when I want to create something, I just need to do that. Sort of really can't bypass the rest of that information. I mean, size is a bit irrelevant. I don't need size. Everything's got the same size. So technically that's based on whatever the object has. I mean, the item is required so it knows what it is. ID could be something irrelevant. It doesn't have to have the word iron gear in it. So, to make it a bit easier, item equals that, and that's what this is. Okay, to make it easier again, what was I about to do? Oh yeah, this should not be stored in here technically, that's the stuff to be rendered. These objects should not actually be getting rendered. I can have them being rendered off in the distance with a renderer of 0, so they just don't get displayed, but they are stored within the scene of stuff that should be rendered. Which means they will be checked for things, quite possibly. Things that are probably going to be irrelevant, so it doesn't really matter. But it's a thing. Why is this so damn quiet? I'm just hearing amplification static. Okay. What next? So really the next thing is the correct connections to the combiner to have things being done. That has a thing. Let me fix that. So let's copy this. And input. Should just be literally the same code. So all of that turns into this now. And this is the exotic ingot. Oh, I didn't do the exotic ingot. Wait, what? Hang on. I didn't... Okay. I could have sworn I scrolled up far enough, but sure. That has a mildly different... No, it doesn't. Okay. I probably should copy this name first. There's another place to get this name from. I guess it does have a mildly different one. Your rotation's got to change to tick up ping, which currently is not a thing. And I don't remember what I had it to. Okay, I probably should undo back to that. There. I mean, that is what it is, but it isn't what it is, because that's usually means something completely different. Offset's usually a one-off thing, not a changing thing. But then again, I guess that technically is what it is. I'm just plus equaling it, instead of just a one-off. Okay, sure, why not? Let's just go for it. It's easy enough to make a new variable if I ever require it. And then I just say goodbye. Nothing rotating around on the end there. It's not rotating. Okay. Is that... well, I mean, nothing else has a rotation offset, so that should be a problem all around. Oh, because I put it in the inventory thing. You just go back here. Okay, more problems. This will be a number that's just increasing forever for everything. I suppose I could just apps it or something? equals that modulus 360. That'll fix it. Sort of. Yeah, and then everything needs a rotation offset by default. I could putting this into the billboard new, but I feel like this is better because this is only for this one game project. I mean, it could be something I use on others, but a billboard's usually just used for these sorts of things. It's not used for items and in-game things. It's just used to put a thing there somewhere. No, still not rotating. Is there an error? No. Did I not upload? Whoa, what? Oh. They don't have the rotation added into it. Well, the rest of the stuff probably also doesn't have a rotation, does it? Ah, idiot. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Redo. Where was I at? So this is now that. Object rotation needs to be a thing for everything. Okay. Those things can just be default, damn it. It usually is with literally anything else I've created. Everything's got a location, rotation, and location, rotation, offsets. And it's rotating! Yay! Oh, that makes gears. Of course it does. That's not quite what I wanted. That is exactly what I put in though. Yeah. Interesting. That's not correct. I mean, that one's still missing, but why are those ones missing? Those should not be missing. Negatives. Oh. Do it again. Grab the whole thing just in case. Oh, you're just slightly unblocked. Oh, feels so good. So I'm pretty sure the only thing I'm missing was just that one. So you are now whatever that is. Which also is being modulus because that's just what it's going to be. Otherwise, this value will just forever increase because everything that makes an instance of something is also keeping the same value, which is just getting forever higher. Until it breaks. Should take years at that rate, but whatever. Yeah. So that literally was cut and paste. Cut paste. That's all fine. So then apparently I need that there. After that. Or then. And then that goes. And that should fix my negative problem. Negative problem was on all things that rotated, so I should simply be able to see it be fixed here. Ah, there we go. So let's just back up to that missing iron plate texture. Okay. Okay. Made that nice. So, what's next? Did I get a reflection of the ceiling with that plate? I should be able to triangle it just right. Maybe not. My maps could be wrong as well. Wait, is that actually it? No, it's broken one. It could be too flat. I don't know. But there should be a way that I could bounce the light directly from there onto that. I should see a big semicircle, but yeah, that was rendered with the new... with the different style of rendering, so I think that's why this one looks so off, because it's so spread out. You can see it on this thing. There. That's a light, that's that circle. All that stuff's slightly different. Whatever. Yeah, so back to combining things now. So now that's a heck of a lot more simplistic. I mean, I could just make a table of stuff, I guess. That would be a little more less annoying. I don't know. I just doing things. So I need it so if I put that into the back, it'll do one thing. If I put it into the side, it will do a different thing. And that's what it will be outputting. So I don't want it to be just spitting out objects like crazy like it currently is. I only want it to be doing if it has the required held items. So let's just get that working. So a combiner will not do this. I guess that's what the truths were. So if it has the inventory, then you need to check to see what exactly you can create. Build time is a thing that I'm probably not going to be doing. And then I wanted to spit out something if it's available to be able to spit out something currently. Okay, so I need it so I can put an inventory, give it an inventory. I could just get past that. Let's just assume I have an inventory. No, I need an inventory. How do I put an inventory into it? So the idea was... I made it... Oh, yeah, made a new one, so it's not universal thingy now. How's this laptop going? I'll save it a little bit. What's happening with the laptop? Just made a clock sound? Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. That took a strangely long time. Oh, that's right, I'm trying to delete that stuff. I was going to turn it off and on again. I'll turn it off for a while. Got my mumble laptop. I'm just testing, see if it works. It's a second-hand one. All about it. It seems to be all good. It's very damn slow for some reason. Well more than it ever should be. It's well more powerful than my old laptop. Yet, it's worse in a weird way. Like, my laptop was not that slow. This is supposed to be more powerful, so why would it be slower? I guess it's just Windows 10 junk. But Windows 7. Alright, what the heck am I doing? Yeah, so I was doing stuff down here. So it needs to be able to store 3 from 3 different ports. The ports ported, well, ideally would like to be displaying stuff. So how exactly do I have those ports? Would be a question. Is this literally the combiner that's used just like everything else? Look at this. Okay. So a combiner needs an inventory. Let's just say that 3 times.
In Japan, where high technology is showcased, consumers stare in wonder at the latest facet of life.
Pixel. Say it's shuffled, is it? That's what's wrong. Sure, why don't we just go with that? Wait, this way, please? That's one. Okay, so yeah, you just have those 3 inventory slots, 2 sides, 1 back. How should I do that actually? The question is, do the sides matter? Yeah, it'll just be easy enough to do it like this. If I ever want a side to matter, then I can have it matter. But ideally the sides should be interchangeable. It's just a back or a side. Or both sides and a back. I don't know. So... Okay, so the inventories are undefined, and then I'd want to put something into an inventory, and then I would check that to see if there's anything that can be built given the build time. So if object inventory 0, 1, or 2, any of those are a thing, then we can produce something. What can we produce and how is the question. So I need some sort of a recipe list, and that recipe list will spit out whatever the heck it wants it to do. Recipe, however you spell that. As a word I've never spelled before. Fairly comfortably say. Where exactly do I want to stick this list? I could just dump it into the combiner, I guess. Everything's just going to be instance, so technically it would be all instance from it. It would be stored in a global place, so somewhere like scene.game.recipe list. Recipes. Sure, why not? Equals an object. Okay. So now it gets into that whole thing. Okay, I wasn't expecting this to actually be involved with all this for some reason. So really the recipe list would be inputs and outputs. So this would just be doing the input thing. If you just tick the things you can input, so it'll just have like iron rods, tubes, plates, whatever. So you just tick one, and then it will show you the different things to be created with that. I guess this middle part's not there anymore, not required. So you just tick what you want, and it will spit out what you want, what the outputs would be given those recipes. You can click on the output, then it will show you all the inputs. So just a simple searching thing to see what the world you want to build. And recipes will be added to it as you go, which is annoying because it's a UI element or whatever. Not quite sure where I'd want to put that or how or anything. Could have like a interactable panel on the side of the room or something you can use. That could be interesting. I'm imagining like a big screen that is always interactable. So as long as you can see it, you can click and interact. So I can just tick the boxes and it will show me the stuff, and it'll be like blah 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 blah. And then it could also show me the quest things that I currently got and current percentages and stuff. I like that idea. I don't like UIs. But that's at least not a floating UI. It has purpose, has design. Based in reality, not just like game logic. Anyway, so yeah, I want all the inputs. So basically I just want to input things until it narrows it down to just one output, and then that's what it's going to output. So the recipes will be sorted by different things. How exactly is that going to work? Well, then again, do I want multiple outputs or just a single output? Do I want all combined? Yes, I do want all combined. Let's just keep it simple. I could add new features, but it's not. So, depending on one of the three sides, it's going to output stuff in the output thing, and that means there is only one output, so you just narrow it down till it just has one output in the list, yes. So, I want to... How do I make a sorting thing where you can select multiple things that matches anything with that until there's just one thing left? So that means I need to make a list grouped by inputs. So I have an input, here's all of its outputs. So if I grab one of those things and then I grab all of its outputs, then I have a second one and I match differences. So if there's differences between everything, then there is nothing that can be created with these two ingredients. If one thing would never... Okay, but then I have a back, middle... I mean, a back and a side different slots. I didn't think about that. Is it relevant? No. Okay, so it would need a... So that means I need to have two lists of stuff, because you could have we can have one ingredient from two different directions and give you two different recipes. So an exotic ingot can create a plate or a rod depending on where you put it in. So I need a pretext thing for if it's a back or a side. I could literally just add an extra word to it saying back or side, so just item underscore back or side, some sort of a thing like that. Split it underscore, there you go. Now we can have spaces and names. Okay, I like that. Let me just grab my recipe list. I'm just focusing on the iron stuff, then on my screen so I can see it. It's very bright. Okay. So this means I need to do. Let me just grab a word that's thereof. So it'd be something like recipe new equals function. Let's just do it this way for now. Okay, so I could do side back side sort of thing, or side side back. Let's go side back side. Okay. So if this is sorted by, then it needs to be sorted by both. Whatever, I can do that. Same way I do keyboard inputs. So recipes. So this would have recipes output and a recipes input. And if I wanted to have things named, I got named or whatever categories I want. So recipes output output equals. I mean, how does an output work? So if you select an output out of the list, it can only ever be one thing, right? No. There could be multiple ways to create something with different amounts, requirements, efficiencies, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So in that case, now I'm thinking of a different. On the screen, I can't tap to it. A different thing with this. So if there is multiple ways you could do stuff, then this middle part should be like connecting things. So I'm just imagining my rainbow thing going between here. If there's multiple ways to make iron rods, I don't know, multiple ways to make an item. So way 1 requires input A, B, and C, and way 2 requires input A and G or something. Well, A, B, and C, and then D. So A, B, C, or A and D. And then I could have A, B, C connected to a thing, outputs. And then, I mean, I guess I could just have lines then. I don't really need that. So just keep the middle part so I can have curves going to different things. So if I highlight over that thing, it shows blah 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 blah. So there'll just be multiple iron rods in a list. So if you select an output and there's multiple variations of it, then all the rest of them go away and that one expands. I could do it that way. Or what other alternatives is there for this? So what I was sort of thinking is the lines would be connected to this middle part, then the middle part would be connected to that. So if there's iron rods, then this part would have 2 blocks in it, for 2 different ways you can make iron rods. So you can do that and that, or you could do that and that, but both have the same outcome of a single iron rod. Because everything's just in singles. Okay. Or what else could I do? I mean, or I could just have the multiple things. I like that inside part better. Because that way this stays uniform. It's not like moving up and down and stretching and squishing. I don't have to have folders or any subcategory junks. It's just a heck of a lot of things crisscrossing around the place. How does the input part work then, this middle part? Variation? Did I spell that right? Couldn't have. Spell check's broken. Whatever. Why is this text not central aligned like the other one? So inputs, variations, outputs. If there is only one thing, there will be one variation. I can imagine the variations just popping out of each other and moving down, nice and simple. Names are just names, they just disappear and move. Same with the inputs. So if you select an input, then you would have a whole lot of the variations to the different sort of outputs. And then if you select another one, a whole of the variations collapse, outputs collapse. No, I'm not liking that very much. Because it just feels like this whole part is somewhat irrelevant. You can't interact with it, you can't do anything with it. I guess you could hover over to see the highlights to individual things you're looking for. You would be able to easily see information, I guess, because I'm just imagining like just a rectangle in here, but what does the rectangle show? Perhaps time it takes for completion, amount of inputs? Okay, that becomes valuable knowledge again. Because if I add in a timer, it would be nice to know how long each individual recipe takes and which one's more efficient and all that sort of junk. So that would actually be necessary. The blocks tell you information about the recipe without actually sub-menus and junk like that. Okay, okay. The biggest annoyance of this would be if you got a big old long list of stuff, you sort of got to know the position of everything in that list to be able to draw a curve that connects to this. I guess that's not that bad of an annoyance. Because it would just be the index in the list, and then you just offset that down the page. It doesn't have to render all your text. It doesn't have to render the curve. Well, it's going to have to render the curve, but then not actually display it. I'm imagining the curve's not going to be that bad. I guess the problem would be the problem would be the curves lining up. You can't really tell the difference between them, but you would only really care about the stuff in this area, which I imagine to be enough of a difference that you'd be able to see, but then that would be irrelevant because you could mouse over to highlight just those things, or you could do that other thing I was thinking, whatever it was. Yeah, whatever. So, back to how to code that then. What would I do with variation? So a variation is just going to be multiple things with the same output. Multiple of outputs. So how is the output going to be defined? Because if there's going to be multiple of an output, then that means each output has to have a unique ID. Yes? No? I could add the variation into this. If this already exists, don't create it, just append to it. But then how would the inputs work? Because the inputs need to connect. You need to be able to sort by that, so... Well, I mean, I guess it is still just going to a... Okay. So basically, each input would just connect directly up to one output. So an input has just a list of outputs. Variations are irrelevant. And then an output would have the ingredients it requires to be created. And it could have multiple of those. So to render it, you would render from the output, so it just displays all the outputs, and then outputs to a variation block, and then the variation block to the wherever the inputs would be in the input list. Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. Then again, with sorting, you'd click on an input, and then it just displays the outputs. The outputs would show you variations and connect it all up. So I'd have to have a refine list. I would also want the list of inputs to refine depending on what you select. So if you select iron rods, it will only display things with iron rods and X in its crafting thing. So that list would just collapse a whole lot. You need to be able to scroll in the list as well. That's rather annoying. But it's simple enough to do. Okay. We real damn pain to code that thing, and it's such a single-use thing. I hate it. I can't imagine any other projects that would require some sort of a UI like this, but whatever. Practice is practice, I guess. Don't really know what I'm practicing. I guess curves. I haven't done curves before, and I haven't done anything like this in a long, long time. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty good. I don't particularly see any problems other than having to render too much and it slows down. That is the only problem I can see here. And that will mostly be down to the resolution of the thing that I'm trying to render at. Okay. Let's go for it. I can't... That's why I hate UIs, because that whole iteration or variation thing's in the middle. I feel like there's other ways I could do that, but it does fix a number of problems at once, so... Whatever alternate version is going to have to solve all those other problems. For now, we'll just say... Yeah, I guess time 0 and inputs 2 or something. Oh, it could also show where you put them. How does it do that? So... Yeah, how would it do that? How would it show where you put a thing? I suppose I should make a mock-up of it. Oh, that was going to scale at all. It's mildly disappointing. Okay. Can I scale at all? That's well too big anyway. This is just a list of names. What sort of sizes am I looking at? Yeah. Okay. I should probably make a list of all of the this. I guess this is also a tier of complexities. Grab the whole thing. I feel like they should just be grayed out if not, and then move to the top. No. Or should I just... No, it should be grayed out and move to the top. So the non-grayed out ones are at the top. I can just animate the movement of things over time, I guess. In which case I feel like little curved edges on things. The more pain it is to render though, although I can just buffer things. I guess by default they'll be in layer order of complexities. much space do I want? Well, the buttons, it's all UI. Entirely depends. It's a bit scared more multiple things at a time. Probably is a way, I just don't know. I guess that's another thing? Sorting by element? I guess I could have tabs along the top, yeah. So I'll have tabs along the top of this thing. What? All things are scalable now. Weird scaling. So I could have tabs along the top, so I'll have like should I go with the just generic, like Windows used to do it? So a top row of tabs, which display one half the relevant information. So I could have a top row of tabs, which is like your missions, your stats, your recipes, whatever else you require, progress, I don't know, progression. And then the bottom part would be sub things. So missions could be your current list of missions, which I guess would be the progression part. Crafting could be, or recipes. So this would store, like, it would have all, or it could be by copper. It's like copper, iron, blah 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 blah. Custom would be one, I guess, at the end. Or whatever else you might want to do that by. I mean, I guess you could sort by complexity and things. No, why would you ever want to do that? I don't know. Yeah, and then you could have like settings, game settings stuff. All that sort of junk all in a window thingy. Main tab, sub tabs. God, I hate UI. You got up. Thank you. Okay. Mechanical component, mechanical MacGuffin. So I guess each one of these would be connected to one of these at the moment. No. Okay. So the outputs are all of this stuff. You can't create that. And then we would have the blocks. Let's just keep rounded. Should a block be the same size as that? I'm imagining a block's got a bit of a buffer to it. Probably more on the ends. I guess it could be the same. So it would be parts. I feel like that's just to make it a little bit easier. And time. So it's a way that requires one part and no time to make whatever it's connected to. So in this case, a rod. Maybe I have 3 dots on it? So I'd like it if this also described if it needs to be plugged into a side or a back. So how do I describe that with this amount of information? So I'm imagining these things being separated by an amount. The text size change? Is it the same height? It's a little bit smaller. I feel like it should be smaller still. But then the smaller it is, the harder to get the information. Halfway between those 2 points. Come on. Yeah. So then it would be something like exotic ingot. I feel like there should be circles on that or something. Like 3 circles on this side. I don't want it to have to come in. I like it to be as simple as possible with the curves. But 3 different connection points depending on if it's a side, middle, or back. Okay. I feel like this might be a little bit misleading though, because it feels like unless I just say side and back and just have 2 points, and 1 point's connected with 2 different things. Because what I was thinking is 3 points, and then if like exotic ingot goes into the side, it goes like that. If exotic ingot's down here, it goes into the bottom part instead of the top part, so it keeps all the lines nice and not crossing over. But by doing that, it might confuse people to think it must be in this side or that side. Yeah. So if I'm going to be doing that, I just need enough of the separate. Well, actually, I can make it bigger then. Okay. I just need a little bit of a. Do I? No, not really. So I can make it this size again. And then have. If I want to do like a literal circle. So imagining something like that. I can't get that to light up as well. Whatever, I'll do. This should be enough. Okay. And then we just have an arrow. So an exotic ingot in the side. It's too weird with the arrow. It's because those numbers aren't right. Nope, that didn't change anything. Maybe this does not mean what I think it does. Oh. I don't want to have a head on it. How do I have it? I guess there's just not an option for it. Alright, whatever. It'll look better on other things. I assume I'd want one of these on each of those. Make it look like a label or something. Okay. So that on the side creates one of those. Oh, that's very wibbly wobbly rounded. Oh, is it keeping the same style for all of them? Oops. So that does that. I create a group. Boost. Move that up a little bit, maybe? Oh, it's the text offsetting the group size. Yeah. So the next one would be to the plate. Plate is one of these in the back. This curse terrible. What is it doing? I could just go with straight lines, really. Just because the lines don't look any good on this scale. I've made everything too small. Yeah. So this would be for a gear. A gear is 3 rods. Oh, how do I show that? I guess that number thing sort of helps with that. Because that could say 3. And well, there's only one back, so the other 2 must be in the side. Or I could have an extra dot for both sides. Ugh, but it is. I gotta do the whole annoying thing of if the thingy is above, it goes to the bottom one, if it's below, it goes to the top one. Yeah. This becomes very annoying if there's an offset though. Because if I have multiple ways to make a rod, then that's going to be bumped down because it's showing both the ways to make a rod. And then all of these are like slanted more and more as it goes down that way. Unless the sub-tabs don't display until you narrow it down. I'd rather not have things popping in and out though. I want all information to always be on the screen at all times. You're just narrowing it down. But it needs to all be there in a non-confusing or ugly looking way. Well, let's just continue with this. So, a frame requires, what, 2 rods and a plate, I think it was? I mean, that's entirely unnecessary. Maybe I should have just kept it going with the ankles. Yeah, 2 rods and a plate to make a frame. A tube. Yeah. So a tube is a rod on the side, plate at the back. Yeah. Hopefully by having the lines curved, it will make that look a heck of a lot less ugly. So that's a tube. Mechanical component. Okay, so this is the first more complicated one because it requires a gear in one side, a rod in one side, and then a plate in, no, and then a frame in the back. Yeah. Okay. So it's got 2 connected to that point, it's the whole point. Why that's a little bit more confusing. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like this system so much. I feel like the information within here could literally just be put into there. Then this middle space could be entirely used for the tangle of lines. You could mouse over an output to highlight all its stuff, mouse over an input to highlight all its stuff, click on it to refine it. So this mess of stuff just does whatever. And then, but then what do I do about multiple variations of recipes? So I could just not have them. That'd be one easy fix to it, which should be simple enough. But I feel like there is a lot of opportunity for me to create those for more logistical thingies. Don't know really why. I mean, I guess overflow of parts could be used for something else. It's like my first variation of the game was, instead of a combiner, there'd be a crusher, stretcher, and something or other else. And then you could just crush and stretch things into any other thing. So I could get a gear and squish it back into an ingot and then stretch it back out to a rod. Or squish a rod to stretch it back out, or flatten it into a plate. So any action you do, you could also undo. But that's complicated. Allowing you to recycle stuff, basically. So there's tube all the way down here. Well, yeah, so other than that, if I do want to still have variations, I would just have all variations being connected to this thing. So if you hover over it, it shows you everything that could be combined together to make a rod. And then I guess I could have an expander? I guess I could do that. So I click on a little thing, pushes everything else down, and then it pops out the variations for the different rods, and separates out all of the connection points. Yeah. I still don't so much like the whole backside thing. I mean, if anything, there should be 3 points, but then it's just more messy. How could I have it showing how to connect things? Okay, so I could... What if you hover over things or click on something, it pops out a little thing on the end, and then that can show you where exactly things connect? That way it could be bigger. All the variations would still be combined. You click on the thing, it separates it down, shows you all the different variations. No, because then if it's bigger than that, then it doesn't quite line up right. So these tags would have to be separated. I don't know. What else could I do? What if I... So I need to show the inputs, the outputs, the variations, the connection locations, and some form of information if ever required. Because, I mean, I could literally just put a little number on the end, so that could just be put on the name tag. Or I could just have variations have a unique name, and then I can forget about the variations, so it could be iron rods raw, or iron rods, or things that act like iron rods. But then that would mean variations in the recipes for things that could be either type of iron rod. So it could be this or that. How do I tell that information? So no, that makes things more complicated. What if... keep thinking of like a tumbler roller looking thing for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, what about this? What if I completely change it? Completely change the design of the menu. I could have 3 things for side, middle, side. And then output? I could make it look like a box flattened out, so it's like a cross. Thing, 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 output. No, because it's just got too much empty space. This way's the better way. But then I've got so much empty space down here anyway, because it's only one output. What do I do with the other two squares? But that would sort of do it, so I can just like scroll up and down through the list, select what I want, refines, select, or go to the bottom stuff, just select what you want. I mean, there is going to be, well, as much inputs as there are outputs, so... I mean, unless I only show things which are craftable with recipes, in which case tubes wouldn't be there, because that doesn't do anything right now. Create them, but you can't use them as an input. So, that would be a thing. I like that idea, but how do I have the output? I mean, I could just have the output on the side, so it's side, middle, side, and then the output. I guess. I mean, that would be the most simplest way of doing this, I suppose. No. How would variations work? Because if it's just showing a list of stuff, if I select on rods and there's variations of the rods, it would have multiple things in each of the categories. How do you know which order they go in? I could literally have the things at the top be one thing, the things at the next list be another thing. But then when you're doing a refining thing and you click on a thing, it'd be showing two things here, and like three things there. Select on one, now it's showing two things here, one thing here, one thing here. Well, I mean, I guess, no, that works, okay. So the problem is only if you select from an output. The best way I can think of for that is just a separator. So, if I select rods, then it will have little separators come up, and it'll have blah blah blah, separator blah blah blah, separator blah blah blah. It runs across the entire thing. I don't like that idea either. Okay, what about... Oh, get hungry. Damn it, I just had food. Oh, got no food. Oh, what time is it? I could order delivery. Should I order delivery? Should order delivery. But I probably should eat better food than I'm currently eating. Should I go shopping? I need to go shopping? Bread. Should I get bread? In which case I've got 20 minutes, then I gotta go. Oh wait, what time does it close? I think it's 7:30 or some junk now. Oh, let me just test that, check that. I don't think it says online. But it still says they close at 10 online. Subway? Nope, they close at 8 apparently. I guess deliveries just stop at 7:30. The reviews for this place. Great service, friendly staff. Not much of a wait. The next review is, I will never set foot into this unprofessional establishment. Outstanding service. Those reviews are from a really long time ago. My review's from 2 years ago, probably 3. One guy with a really terrible review. What am I doing? Yeah. I'm just gonna assume it's that time, otherwise I'm just gonna be eating bread, I guess, for dinner. Blah 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 blah, what am I doing? More ideas, more variations, what am I doing? Because I can't make the whole system until I have the system. I mean, I guess I can. If I'm looking from an input side, then this doesn't matter. Oh yeah, it was the variations that was the problem. No, I guess not. But then, Soto. I mean, if I'm gonna have variations, then that's just gonna be how it works. It'll have to have an output with multiple input things for each of the different variations. But no matter how I think about it, there's always going to be the problem with the variations. This way sort of works around it, because you can clearly see variation 1, variation 2, and then what it connects to. Click on one to refine, I guess. And you have to have the whole undo, unrefine things as well, I guess. Whatever, in terms of just storing the data, I don't think there's too much of a better way of doing that. So outputs would be a thing. If it already exists, then don't worry about it. So if that exists, if not that, then this. Then I guess this wouldn't be that. I'd probably just have this as a nice simple as an array, and then just push things into it. Vary. Sure, why not? Let's go for vary. Equivalent bar. Whatever. Vary is an array. And I guess I should probably have an output as whatever the output is. Okay. First one. Going up there, even though you just, you know, I'm just gonna pick you up again. Why do you want my attention this time, kitty cat? I know you got a big old bowl of food because I put well so much in there. So yeah, vary and output, and then gonna keep jumping up there, and I'm just gonna put it on the floor. So vary and output, so that dot, let's see, vary dot push, what's that? And that should be it for the output side. And then for the input side, I would say, I mean, I guess there's going to be a whole lot of connection points, so be something along the same lines. So input, I feel like this would just be an array to all the different outputs. Should I just call it output? Should I have that as an array? Because this could be put to multiple of the same output. I feel like I should have it as an object just to remove duplicates. Okay. And then that output. I mean, I guess there should be inputs then. But inputs is an array for the variations. So the inputs for that output. Inputs, because there's multiple. Will be that. So we just push that in. Yeah. So for the input is the input. Output is where this is connected to, so outputs push would not be a thing. Instead of that, we'd be doing outputs output. Then I have a room for a variable. Do I need to put a variable in there? What would the variable do? I mean, is this something I want, or do I want it to be an array? If it is an array, then yes, it will be connected to the same thing multiple times, and I could just ignore that with an extra list, but it would also have the number of things that this can be used in. So if I wanted some sort of a statistical information, I could say that, you know, iron rods are used in 7 different things, or recipes, or whatever. I'm not quite sure why, or how, or where I would display that information, but that could be information. Where this way it would be excluding variations in the recipes in that number of things. But it would also be simplifying, because now I don't have to make a list of stuff to exclude duplicates when drawing the UIs. Although technically the output would still be doing that depending on how I display the output. So maybe I should just have it as an array. I feel like I should. Let's just keep it open, less limitations. In which case you are just a push. Yeah. Outputs will just be singular things, where inputs have multiple things to create one. Multiple things you go into creating one. No. No. This is the one input, and it has the one output, but then can connect to multiple output. It doesn't outputs multiple things. Okay, so that'll do. So then I just gotta run the function a bajillion times. So new recipe. I should probably have the names correct. So the first recipe is for a rod. Iron rod would be the output, and the side is an exotic ingot. I'm assuming I just have these as undefined, so it'll just be blah blah blah. And when I check recipes within this stuff, I just exclude undefined. Alright. The next thing is an iron plate. Iron plate has an exotic ingot as a back. Okay. Then we have a gear. The gear is just rods. Then we have frame. The frame is a plate at the back, 2 rods on the side. Then we have tube. 2 rods on the side, plate on the back. Then we have mechanical component. Am I looking? which is a rod on the side, a frame on the side, and a gear on the back. Rod on the side, frame on the side. Nope. Frame on the side? Gear on the back, okay. I really feel like it should be a frame on the back. It's like you're inserting a gear and a frame inside of... let me just edit that. So frame, rod, and gear. Just seeing some minor alterations in this thing, which it was really not designed to do. Let me just do the last one first. Last one first. Mechanical MacGuffin. A whole lot of mechanical components. So if I want to switch that around, I gotta sort of move all this over there. Be how you do it. So that would go onto there. That goes onto there. And that goes onto there. There's no way you're out of food, kitty. But you're really meowing like you are. Okay. That's it. What was going down there? Okay. So that should add all of the recipes into the recipe list. So the next thing is to check the recipe list. I'm going to be going out to get food. I should probably think about getting going, unless I'm just going to get delivery. But I should get bread. But I have got food here, but it's just microwavable things. I've only got one, and it's not enough food. I can cook things, but I've already cooked that thing, and it's not really the best thing to be having multiple times a day. Let alone every day. Oh, I'm gonna just get coffee now, like it. Okay. Or what else? Or I go get food. Which means I've got to walk into the city. Which means I've got to go around about now. If I get delivery, I gotta get it now. But I do need to get bread. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Very indecisive today. Or I could do nothing and just be hungry. All equally valid options. I'm gonna come back. I want to do stuff. I haven't done anything in ages. Like, the next step is just to put all this stuff into that. No, actually, no, I should be able to just have a look with this. Well, no, yeah, the next step is to be able to search through and refine. So I basically need to loop through all outputs, and... No. If I want to sort by iron rod, so I'd go through all of the inputs to see what their outputs are with iron rod, and then I would go through all of the... yeah. And then if I had it... No, so if I want an iron rod should return... You know, I could just quickly test that. I'm just gonna have a look at it. Crash. Input is not defined. What? 175. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then that'll do. How about input of view? Boy. Well. Oh god, yeah, I probably should have kept that paused. Now I gotta wait for that to stop spamming. There we go. So those are my recipes, inputs. So an iron rod has apparently got 7 different outputs. Iron gear, iron gear, iron gear. Oh, I suppose so. Because it's 3 different recipes within the iron gear recipe. 3 different inputs to the iron gear recipe. So yeah, it feels like it would probably be better if I had that as an object. In which case, instead of a push, you are what you were. You are that. And I'm just going to say that is equal to the output recipe. Because output recipes should have been created. So now when it does it, it just won't have the duplicates. Pause. Should have created it by now. Nope, did not. Should have created by now. Oh, it loaded. Really hoping it wasn't going to. Wait for the textures to load. It sucks how long that takes. Boop. Output. No, input. Input. Rod. Output. Okay. So it could be used in iron frame, iron gear, iron tube, and a mechanical component. Great. And any one of those would be saying whatever. There's one way of creating it, requires those 3 items. Okay, in which case... So... That's a rod, a gear, so a gear should also contain a mechanical component. Yes. So if I was to look at this and I was to look at that, then I find the things that are the same, and there we go. That would have refined my search, so I know exactly what everything else. Well, actually, I'd have to loop through that, wouldn't I? So I'd have to loop through any matches to get any inputs any of them require. Whatever. Either way, that's only got 1 output. If it's only got 1 output, then the combiner knows what it combines it into. Hopefully. So it would just be doing the search thing. Am I gonna get food? If I order it, then I can continue going until the food arrives. If I go out, I've got to go in right now. Or I could just have sandwiches. I really should just go out and get food. Damn it. I'm gonna go. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, I'll just do that when I come back. If I come back later today, it depends if people want to play games or not. Distract me all day again. So yeah, gonna make a searching thing so it matches a single thing. When it matches a single thing, it knows it's gonna output. As long as there isn't multiple recipe variations of recipes which require like the same part, but just one less, which there should never be. But there could be, because if people can create custom ones, they can create a custom one that does that, unless they can't create a custom one that does that, which creates something that already exists. So if you want to make a custom one, it needs to have different inputs to outputs. There's something else that already exists. Would you ever do that? I mean, no, you couldn't do that, because there's no way to reverse stuff. You'd have to be doing it from a lower form, which would mean, yeah. Right? No. Yes? No. Because using iron plates and iron rods, you could create everything else, where by default it would... So you could... But then it would be building... So if I had... I feel like I should be using plates to make gears, but whatever. The only time it would be a problem is if you could shortcut an area of this thing by having lesser stuff. It's like, if that requires rods, you got a rod as an input, and a plate as an input, and then you add a gear as an input, and that is technically a different thing to create a mechanical component, even though you can make gears out of the lesser stuff. But you're not, which now means there's a recipe for a rod and a plate to make a mechanical component, and a gear, a rod, and a frame to make a mechanical component. Well, I guess that's an extra one different. I'm not sure. Of course, now people are joining. If people are even existing and they're not just bots. I'm gonna go. I gotta get some food. I really gotta go right now. I'm gonna be doing that. And hopefully they haven't closed, otherwise I'm just gonna be invited. May or may not be back later. If I am, it'll probably be in an hour or so. Ish.